All right, here's another one. All right, this is a story time about Naruto Uzumaki. So Naruto, the main character of Naruto, was born during the Nine Tails attack. Nine Tails attacked. The masked man, played games, but Minato stopped him. Minato stopped him, sealed the Nine Tails inside of Naruto. And Naruto was a kid that was, ostracized. He was this boy has the Nine Tails demon inside of him. We do not like Naruto. Naruto could, lash out at any moment and kill us. The third Hokage made it so people didn't like Naruto. He also put Naruto, old man heroes in the third Hokage made it so Naruto had a place to stay, right? And he, gave him like money for food every once in a while. Naruto lived by himself. And he lashed out to get attention from people. He would write shit on the stone faces and, just be a bad kid. But he just wanted friends and people to like acknowledge him. But day came when Naruto had the graduate from school to become a ninja academy. Iruka Sensei was in charge of that shit. He'd been training Naruto in the school for a couple years. And actually liked Naruto, but didn't like how Naruto would like not listen in class and try to like outdo people who were better than him, like Sasuke, who was actually a good student in other things, but Naruto was an alright student, but not really. He was too focused on trying to get everybody's attention and stuff. So, I'm gonna be the best ninja, he says. Naruto, I'm gonna become the Hokage one day, he says. You'll see. That's what he says. And everybody's like, okay, whatever. You're just that boy who runs around and paints faces. You're just that boy that runs around and plays games. You don't even know jutsu that well, Naruto. They're like, damn, Naruto never, gave in though. One night, somebody stole the scroll that had a secret jutsu on it. Third Hokage caught wind of it, and sent all these Jonin level ninjas out to like see what the fuck was going on. So he sees what the fuck was going on. Iroka was actually a tuning that found the guy. I don't remember what the guy's name was, but the guy was like trying to he caused like stealing shit for like nefarious purposes. Um, nefarious purposes. He was doing that, right? And then Iruka was fighting him, and then Naruto came there and was like, I heard about that scroll. Um, the guy was like, Iruka don't care about you. You killed his parents. Well, he was referring to the Nine Tails inside of Naruto that killed Iruka's parents, and he was trying to use that as a way to get Naruto to give him the scroll. But Naruto took the scroll and ran with it. He was actually able to read the scroll and actually pull off what other ninjas can't do, a secret jutsu called multi-shadow clone jutsu. And from that day forward, Naruto made that jutsu legendary in the Naruto world. But he, showed that guy up, kicked that guy's butt, and got the scroll back to the Hokage. And for doing that, he was able to get his headband and become a ninja. A genin, a student ninja who needs a sensei to like teach him stuff. So then he became a part of Team Kakashi with Sakura, Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha. They both were there, Sakura and Sasuke. And Naruto was, a little bit behind them. Kakashi was like, wait until I signal to go, right? They were doing the like bell training. And Kakashi did this to test their teamwork. Eventually, he found out that they could come together after, training for a while. And they were like, we'll feed Naruto because he's got tied to the pole for not doing what he was supposed to. And then he came there and he was like, you know what? You guys passed, because all the other students would leave their comrades behind and other things so that they could pass the test. But you were there for Naruto, so you passed the test. Naruto passed the test and he became like a true student of Kakashi. Then they got their first mission, the real mission to the Land of Waves. They had to help the shipbuilder get somewhere. He had to get somewhere to build the Naruto bridge, or well, just the bridge. Um, and Zabuza was a guy playing games. Um, when Zabuza came, Naruto didn't know what to do. He was like at a loss. He didn't know what to fucking move. He didn't know how to move. It showed that he needed some training. So he started training in the woods. He started, running up trees and shit. He actually tested. He went against Sasuke because actually Sakura was able to run up the tree easily. She had the ability to just put chakra in her feet and go up the tree, whereas they had to like learn a little bit. And so they tested each other all night. And Naruto went and did a little more training. Um, then he got to the bridge in time. Hopefully, thankfully he got to the bridge in time to save Sasuke. During the Haku attack, he met Haku in the woods, and Naruto was like, you look like a girl, and she was like, well, he was like, you're a good guy. I hope to see you, become great and other things. However, Naruto come to find out that that guy was working for Zabuza, one of the seven swordsmen of the mist, who was a killer, ruthless killer. And he was too. Haku was too. Haku's an ice ninja. He uses water and ice type, or water and wind type, my bad, to create a Kekkeidenkai. That's the ice style. And he was, fighting in Sasuke. Then Naruto got in there and said, you ain't gonna kill Sasuke. You know, you are through Zenbone inside of him. He was all fucked up. He's bleeding out. I don't like Sasuke, but he's my comrade. I'll save him. And then that was when the first sight of Naruto using Nine Tails chakra came. Kakashi was like, oh shit, my student's doing extra stuff. He knocked the shit out of Haku, punched his ass out of his like mirrored world, what he had, mirror dome, whatever the fuck that was called, punched his ass out, broke through. Then after that, they were fighting, and then Haku died because he tried to protect Zabuza, and Naruto was upset. Naruto told Zabuza, why would you like let that happen to him? Why would you like feel no anything when Haku loved you and served you and just wanted to do good by you? You don't even care that he's dead. Naruto was crying and telling Zabuza he was a bitch for, not eating costs to his, like, his son, basically. Zabuza was like, God damn it, Naruto, you're right. I am weak. So then Zabuza grabs a knife and he, like, runs through the, like, bad guys, the Yakuza, and all the way to Gato and cuts his throat. But he dies next to Haku, and then they're laid to rest. But in that, Naruto learned that it ain't pretty being a ninja. You see like people die and shit. Ninjas do this for their nation. These ninjas do this. You just gotta do the job, and that's how it is. Naruto didn't know that until that happened. That was a like C class assignment, but it was really like a class assignment. But they completed it. So then it was a time for the tuning exam. And they saw, a man named Gara, a young boy named Gara, actually. He's a tail beast of the One Tails. Naruto didn't know what that was or anything. Nobody did. They just knew that Gara was a fucking beast. And he was like somebody to not like take lightly. So the tuning exams start. Naruto's in the tuning exams. And who did he have to fight in the tuning exams? Some people. But he was in the woods, right? Well, he took the test, and when he took the test, he didn't have anything on the paper, but he passed anyways. And then they went into the woods. When they went into the woods, Naruto got, lost because he was being a dumbass trying to find squirrels. He found Orochimaru, and Orochimaru found him, and Naruto went into Nine-Tails state because Orochimaru was powerful. Orochimaru was also knowledgeable and sealed the Nine-Tails chakra inside of Naruto, like made it so the Nine-Tails chakra couldn't come out because he didn't want to have to deal with the Nine-Tails, so he kicked Naruto to the side. Naruto was knocked out for a while, for a good time, and then Sakura had to keep Naruto and Sasuke cool. Did that for a while, and then Rock Lee came to save Sakura, and then Sasuke woke up with a curse mark and stopped the sound ninjas. Then it was time for the prelims, and in the prelims, Naruto had to fight against Kiba, a sensory type who had a strong nose. He was a dog boy. Dog boy was like not strong enough to take on Naruto though. Naruto, outwitted him in other things. Farted in his face, did shit to him, to catch him off guard. And Naruto hit the Uzumaki barrage, a move that he copied off of Rock Lee. Well, copied off of Sasuke, really. The Lion's Barrage that Sasuke had, Naruto used his clones to use the Uzumaki barrage. And he took down Kiba. And then it was after that, he was one of the ones who moved on to the real tournament, which was to take place a month later. So during that time, oh, I can't do that? All right. So during that time, they went and he was like, you gotta, train somewhere. Sasuke went to train with Kakashi. Then Naruto was like, I don't have nobody to train with. He found Jiraiya peeping in a, a bathhouse. And he was like, and then Jiraiya was like, I'm one of the legendary Sani, I'm Lord Jiraiya, one of the 3 legendary ninjas of the Leaf Village, you haven't heard of me? And he was like, no. He showed Naruto summoning jutsu, and Naruto learned how to summon a frog. He summoned a tadpole at first, but then eventually he learned how to use jutsu because Jiraiya unsealed the 9-tails chakra a little bit because he saw that Orochimaru sealed that shit tighter. But he was like, Naruto, you have 2 chakras in you. You have yours and the 9-tails. You can use the 9-tails chakra, but only to a certain extent. And he was like, cool. The red chakra is yours to use. Then you can summon Gamabunta. And that's the summoning jutsu. And he taught Naruto the summoning jutsu. He went into the tournament and he fought Neji. Neji was a guy who was, always winning, for the most part. He was like a guy who didn't like the way his clan was ran. His dad died because he had to protect his younger brother. He died, and then he had a seal put on his head because he didn't like that the way that his clan was ran. But he always made sure he was better than the students in his class, like Rock Lee and everybody else. He was actually one of the ones that everybody was looking at. Neji of the Byakugan, they gassed him up. Naruto wasn't falling for the hype though. He was like, you fucked with Hinata, who was, just trying to, become a ninja. You almost killed her. He didn't like that. So, he threw hands with him. Shadow Clone Jutsu. He had to break out the red chakra, the 9-tails chakra on him, because Neji was kind of an issue. So he did that, and then Naruto ended up winning that fight. He said, winner Naruto Uzumaki with the uppercut in the hole. Came out the hole and said, uppercut. Naruto won. and he moved on. However, it was Konoha crushed. And Orochimaru was playing games with the 3rd, trying to kill him and stuff. So then that happened. Orochimaru attacked the Leaf. Then Sasuke was fighting against Gaara. Gaara went on a rampage, and then they had to go after Gaara, so he wouldn't destroy the Leaf Village. So Naruto went into the woods to find Gaara and other things with Sasuke and Sakura. Sasuke tried his best when Gaara was in his tail beast state, but he couldn't do shit. Then Sakura couldn't either. Naruto had to use, Shankle and Jutsu, all this extra stuff. Then he summoned Gamabunta like he was supposed to. Like Jiraiya said, Gamabunta helped him hold down against the Shikaku when it came out. Full Tail Beast Mode came out. Gaara got controlled by Shikaku, and, they were fighting against Shikaku. Then he used some of the red chakra to turn Gamabunta into the 9-tails. It's a transformation jutsu, what that was. They were fighting, and Naruto headbutted Gaara and got him right. I said, damn, boy, we're the same. Nobody likes us because we have tail beasts inside of us. They find that out, and then, all that shit happened. They found out the 3rd Hokage died, and it was sad. However, Jiraiya was like, I can teach Naruto some things and, get him right. So they went on a quest to find the 5th Hokage. But before that happened, Naruto was, with Jiraiya, and they were just going to train for a little bit. However, the Akatsuki came, and they were looking for Naruto. He had the 9-tails in him. The Akatsuki members were Itachi Uchiha and Kisame. So they went to the hotel where Naruto was at, and Naruto and Doran said, hey, there's that boy Naruto. He's easy to take. He's just some kid. However, they didn't know that Dry was waiting and waiting. It's like he summoned a frog, and inside the frog, they were gonna like die and shit. So Itachi used Amaterasu to get away, and they got away. But Naruto was still like, why were they after me? And Draw was just like, you have to stay with me, Naruto. We have to stick together. You're gonna train with me, so you can become stronger. Sasuke was like fucked up from a Tsukuyomi that his brother put him under, and he had to go to the hospital with his sensei too. Kakashi also got put under the same jutsu, and they were all fucked up. Then they went to go look for Tsunade. And when they went to go look for Tsunade, Tsunade saw that Naruto looked like a brother and was like, he was saying the same shit his brother was. I'm gonna become Hokage one day. And then Tsunade was like, you can't become Hokage. You're just some brat. You're playing games, boy. You're not living in reality. That's not an easy thing. I'm strong. I can teach you that you're not that strong. She started like cracking the ground and other things, and Naruto was like, damn, this bitch is kind of strong. But I still don't care. I'm gonna be Hokage one day. And he's like, I'll become Hokage if you don't want to, old bitch. And she was like, whatever. She didn't want to do it. Dry was like, I need you to, because I don't want to be Hokage. I can't do it. I run around and play games with others. You, and you, you're actually cool. You have the first Hokage's genes and all this extra stuff. And she was like, that your medical ninjutsu will be useful and other things. You're qualified to be the fifth Hokage. She said, I'll think about it. Orochimaru came to her and said, I can bring your little brother back. And then they had a scuffle between the three, standing, and it was all three were in an exchange. Orochimaru didn't have his arm, so Kabuto was there. And Lady Tsunade was fighting against Kabuto. She was doing all right, but then she started bleeding. She started, being like, oh no, I don't think I can fight, because she hadn't fought in a long time. She was all weak. So Naruto had to like go in there and grab the knife and hit him with the Rasengan, because Jiraiya was teaching Naruto about the Rasengan before they found Tsunade, using the water balloon technique and eventually learning how to use the Rasengan. He used one on Kabuto, but eventually Kabuto was, he was smart. He used medical ninjutsu to keep himself cool. Then he like left with Orochimaru, and Tsunade was all right. She, got back on her shit, metonic regeneration, and she was fine. Then they were like, she's the Lady Fifth Hokage now. They're cool. We found the Hokage. Now, the Hokage was made and other things. However, she went and she healed Sasuke and Kakashi with her medical ninjutsu. Sasuke was upset because Naruto learned a new jutsu under Jiraiya. And then, he was in bed and other things. He started to get jealous of Naruto because Naruto was looked at, for his tail beast chakra. And, Sasuke wasn't even a thing to his brother. His brother was like, Sasuke, you're still weak. You don't have enough hate in your heart. So Sasuke fought Naruto on top of the building, or was going to. Then Kakashi stopped the fight. Come to find out that Naruto's Rasengan was stronger than Sasuke's Chidori. So then Sasuke was upset. But the sound ninja, Sound 4, came there and were like, you gotta come find Orochimaru. He'll get you on timing. He's one of the legendary signing too. He already marked you on other things. He'll be cool with us. So he went with them, and he was like, I want power. I want to kill my brother. We'll go with him. So Naruto was like, in the Sasuke retrieval, he was like, I have to go get Sasuke back. Not just for my sake, because he's, a comrade, but Sakura is sad. And I don't want to see Sakura sad. And he made Sakura a deal. He was like, I'll bring Sasuke back. Believe it. And he went and did that. Tried to do that. He was running through the forest with Shikamaru, Kiba, Neji, and Choji, but they all had to fight each one of the Sound 4. He went all the way to where Kimimaro was, and Kimimaro was in the woods. He said, I have to like get rid of Kimimaro real quick because he's playing games. He used multi-chakra and jutsu, but Kimimaro was actually a skilled shinobi too. He was actually supposed to be the vessel for Orochimaru, but instead, Sasuke, younger, fresher, stronger, more potential there. So, Kimimaro was like, I'll have to handle shit with the Sound 4. But then Rock Lee came there and was like, Naruto, go forward and find Sasuke. So then he finds Sasuke, and then the legendary fight, one of the best fights in anime started, Naruto versus Sasuke in the final valley. As kids, they were, hitting, each other with kunai, Sasuke was really whooping Naruto's ass to let him know, we're not friends no more. We ain't friends. I'm, leaving the village. This is no Game Boy. We are not playing, fucking games. And then Naruto was like, I guess I can't hold back. He let out the nine tailed chakra and was like, I have to break, even if I have to break every single bone in your body, you're coming back to the leaf. And Sasuke was like, he elevated his Sharingan to three Tomoe because the nine tails chakra was too much. He couldn't handle all that extra stuff. He was like, huh. He had to like, he had to see better. He had to see the like nine tails chakra coming at him. So he got better and he smashed Naruto's head into the ground, and then Naruto like truly unleashed a one-tailed cloak, one tail of the nine tails cloak, and then after that, Naruto had the upper hand till Sasuke unveiled the second stage curse mark, and then they were on the same level. They ended up hitting Black Chidori off. Sasuke did, and then Vermilion Rasengan, and that happened. And unfortunately, Naruto lost that fight. And then Sasuke left the village. Kakashi got there too late, but he was able to save Naruto. Naruto was upset because he couldn't save Sasuke, and it was sad. But then Naruto goes to train with Jiraiya for 2 years, and 2 years of training with Jiraiya, um, it was cool. Um, 2 years pass, and Naruto comes back to the Leaf, and he says, I'm glad to be back. I'm stronger now. Tsunade's like, let's test that shit. We'll get Kakashi and Sakura back together, and Team Seven will be back together with without Sasuke, of course. But they were there and they were training. However, they were training against Kakashi. Naruto unleashed Rasengans and other things, showed that he wouldn't get caught up in some genjutsu. And he proved that he was a better ninja. They even caught the bells too. From Kakashi this time, and he was like, "All right, you guys are actually, good now. You actually learned something over these past 2 years." He was proud in other things. However, a messenger prison came from the sound. No, that's Sound Village, but Sand Village, and um, Gar was taken by the Akatsuki. They took him for his tail beast, so they were like, we need to like, help this guy out. Helped him out. To help him out. So Naruto was going, and then he finds Itachi in the forest. They fight against. Well, before that, they got to the Sand Village, and they got Granny Chio's help. Granny Chio knew about poisons that Sasori had used to poison Kankuro, and she came along with them. She was running through the woods with them to find the Akatsuki hideout where they had Gaara, and then they found Itachi Uchiha, which was actually a 30% clone of Zetsu, but they had used impersonation jutsu, and they were fighting the impersonation, um, but the imposter. But Naruto got put under genjutsu, and he was all fucked up, you know. So Sakura and um, Kakashi had to touch him to get him out of the genjutsu with the Tsukuyomi, which would have had Naruto fucked up. But then Naruto, used a giant Rasengan and defeated the clone. Then they were running and they got to the hideout. Unfortunately, though, Gar was already, zapped of the one tails chakra, and he was dead. So Naruto was pissed, and he went after Deidara. Deidara was, playing games, trying to lure Naruto away from Kakashi so he can catch Naruto too, and kill like two, Jinchuriki in one day, basically. And but not not Guy was there too, but Kakashi was there to like make sure Naruto was all right. He like convoyed his arm off, and the arm came off. Then after that, Naruto jumped up there and said Rasengan, made Deidara fall off that bird, and he was in the woods. Naruto saw that God was dead, and he pissed. He got even more pissed. He went into three-tailed state. However, Kakashi got a tag from Dry, and Dry was like, "You have to put this on the boy to make him, not go crazy and shit." After he goes past three tails, he becomes like he ain't Naruto anymore. He's the nine tails. He's like a full tail beast. He almost killed me and shit, but I had like chakra seals to seal the boy. He gave it to Kakashi, and Kakashi remembered what Dry said, and he was like, he put the tag on Naruto's head and said, "Calm down, Naruto." And Naruto, went to sleep for a little bit, and then when he woke up, he was like, Gar is dead. We did all this and we couldn't save Gar. He was like having a moment. He was sad because one of his friends who actually understood him, understood his like loneliness, his sadness as a Jinchuriki, he was gone. But then Granny Chio was like, the new generation has to, live on and be cool. She gave her life so that Gar could live again. And then they buried not Tsunade, but Chio, and they were like, cool. The Sam Village was happy to help out the Leaf in any future conflicts and other things, because Naruto and Gaara were friends and they were both cool. Then they went on their separate ways. After that, Kakashi was fucked up from the fights and stuff. So, um, goddamn, Yamato came in as a captain, Squad 2, and they were like, we're going to go after Orochimaru and Sasuke. We're going to try to receive Sasuke from Orochimaru. So they went out to the Tenchi Bridge where Sasori told them that they would meet to see, Orochimaru. Orochimaru and Sasori were going to meet there. So they did an impersonation due to their own. Well, Yamato did. And they were waiting in the forest to see what happened. They would come down to help Yamato if Orochimaru came. Orochimaru did come with a Kabuto. They were on the bridge, and then Naruto saw Orochimaru and attacked him in three-tail state. Then he went into four-tail state, and he like lost his mind and went crazy. He had an exchange with Orochimaru, and Orochimaru was actually, scared of Naruto. He had to punch Naruto away and like get the fuck away. He's like, I ain't fighting the Nine Tails. We ain't doing all that extra stuff. So he ran, and Kabuto ran away. Um, Yamato had to like get the seal because he had wood style, the style of Hashirama Senju. He had Hashirama Senju cells in him, so he could suppress the Nine Tails. He said, "I'll suppress Naruto back to a regular boy," and he did that. And then he also hurt Sakura, so he was like pissed at himself. So then they run all the way to Orochimaru's hideout where Kabuto is there, and they ended up biting Kabuto. And then they were like, Kabuto was like, Sasuke's not what he used to be. He ain't the same boy he used to know. Orochimaru made him something else. And then they, went in there and they were running through the labyrinth. And Naruto was like, Sasuke, where are you? Then Sasuke lets him know where he's at. He's like, he used like Kirin, I think. Or he used a lightning blade of Shigure. And like he was there, and then they looked at each other after like not seeing each other for like 3 years. And he was like, okay, you know, Sasuke's powerful. I'm not on his level. Still, Sasuke was so keen with his eyes now that he could go into Naruto's world and see the Nine Tails and be like, now I see what you see. I can see the Nine Tails too. The Nine Tails is powerful. This is the shit I had to fight against all those years ago. And he was like, want me like take care of this shit, and Naruto was like, how the fuck were you able to come in here? And then Sasuke was gonna kill them all, but then Orochimaru was like, no, I advise against that, and then they left. After that, Naruto went back to the village and he learned that he wasn't strong enough. So Kakashi was like, you have to get stronger. You need to learn an S class level of jutsu that only you can use. Like not no shit, because he had to teach Naruto. So Kakashi, showed Naruto that he could use the Rasengan. You ain't the only person that knows the Rasengan. The fourth Hokage, Jiraiya, me, and like all of us know the Rasengan. So you need to make the Rasengan a special Rasengan that's only you or specialized to you. And so Naruto started training and training, for like I don't know how long, weeks. As this was going on, Asuma died, and team, Asuma was going against the Akatsuki members who killed him. Um, Hidan and Kakazu inside the forest. Naruto was learning this move so he could go help them out too. He learned the move, and then he went to the forest to find them, and he was like, I'm here now. I can, help you guys fight against Kakazu, who had hearts. He had 4 hearts that he was fighting with. Each heart had a jutsu, a different style, jutsu, fire, lightning, wind, and all that extra stuff. So they did that shit, and Naruto, he had the Rasen Shuriken. That was the move that he like was able to create, and then he was able to do that. He threw the first one and it didn't do shit. But he made a second one and it like smashed the shit out of it. It destroyed most of his hearts. Then Kakashi, put the last heart out, and then they defeated Kakazu. Naruto learned an S class jutsu that was only his, and it was cool. However, he still was like they had to look for Sasuke and Itachi. It came time for that, and then they were like, we'll find Sasuke. If we find Itachi, we're bound to find Sasuke because Sasuke had killed Orochimaru. News got around about that, and they were like, Sasuke is like on another level if he was able to kill Orochimaru. Because Orochimaru is not no scrub really. People like even in the Akatsuki were like surprised. Deidara went against Sasuke and he died, and Sasuke was still running around trying to find Itachi. They were trying to find Itachi. They find Itachi in the forest. Well, Naruto does, and then um, Itachi imparts a gift onto Naruto that comes into play later in the series. Um, However, y'all, I ain't going into the Boruto stuff when I tell the story. All right. Um, so that that being said, the crow goes into Naruto's mouth, and then Itachi departs to fight against Sasuke. But then they also find Kabuto in the woods because Kabuto didn't die. Sasuke left Kabuto alive, thinking he was weak, but Kabuto was playing games with Orochimaru's DNA, and he had, Orochimaru skills. He was learning shit from a snake sage. He was trying to become a snake sage. Naruto was like, "You are nasty as fuck. You're not, yourself no more." But he got away too, and then Naruto, you know, they all went to try to find Sasuke, but they got there late. Toby already took Sasuke after the fight with Itachi, and Naruto was doing other things. But when they got back to the village, another thing, tragedy struck Naruto again a little bit. Because Jiraiya had died to the leader of the Akatsuki named Pain. Pain used to be one of Jiraiya's students, and he killed him. So Naruto was sad. He was out without his sensei, who loved him and taught him the Rasengan and trained him for 2 years. And now that he was gone, Naruto had a void in his heart. But Iruka was there to be like, Naruto, Jiraiya wouldn't want you to be like this. He would want you to, grab yourself up and just do it. Just destroy pain, and protect the village like you want to, become Hokage. That's what you want to do. And then Naruto was like, you know what, you're right. So he went to Mount Miyaboku to train with the frog. Um, the frog taught him how to do frog kumite and learn sage mode. Take in nature energy and combine it with his own energy and make sage energy. Senjutsu. He learned sage mode for a while. It took him like a while to learn it. But while Naruto was in Mount Miyaboku, Pain attacked the village and he actually destroyed the village, killed many people. Kakashi died, Choza died, a lot of people died. Um, and other people were fighting elsewhere for like other missions. Tsunade tried to hold it down, but she couldn't against Pain. He was a Renegon bear. The eyes of the Sage of Six Paths, they didn't know how to handle shit like that. They were like, they were for a loss until Naruto showed up in the greatest entrance of all time, summoning all those frogs and saying, I'm here. He smashed one of the pains right away, like boom, that one that was trying to kill Tsunade, and he was like, "Don't worry, Tsunade, I can handle this. You're the Hokage, but I got this." And then she saw Naruto in a new light. She was like, "He's our hero now. I can't do it, and I'm the Hokage, but Naruto's actually that guy now. He's not some scrub. I'll leave it in your hands." And she gave him Katsuyu, and he started fighting against the other pains. He took them down one by one, and then it got to the Tendo pain, the one that had Yahiko's body. That one was the strongest one. Nagato's favorite one to manipulate. So they were fighting that one. Naruto was like an amateur at using Sage Mode, so he had like 3 clones inside of Mount Niaboku that were constantly pumping Sage Mode into their bodies. So he would summon the clone, and he would be in Sage Mode. It got down to like the last one, and he was fighting against Tendo Pain, the one that had Yahiko's body. Um, and uh, Hinata joined in the fight because Naruto lost Sage Mode. He couldn't like gather Sage energy quick enough, and he got the chakra rods put in him, and he was like pinned down. But then Hinata came there and was like, "I love you, Naruto. I need to save you." And then that happened, and Pain destroyed Hinata. Naruto went into a fit of rage, and he went into like four tail state right away, and Pain was like not ready for shit like that. He had to fight against him, and they had a great fight. Pain versus Naruto. The Nine Tails really, and the Nine Tails was wearing Pain down, but you know, Pain was still there. You know, somehow he was still there. That Renegon was still, you know, helping him out a little bit. He even like Naruto even broke the seal, the necklace that Tsunade gave him, so he could go into like uh, deeper states of like Chaka pool with the Nine Tails. Nine Tails cloak went into Six Tails state where he has the bones and shit, and he was like out of control. Then he went like Pain had to use planetary devastation and like put Naruto up in a ball, summon all that rock. He had to summon more. He was like, I don't know, I have to summon more rock to like keep this shit at bay. And he kept that shit at bay for a while. But even so, the Nine Tails was still breaking through, and he was like, I didn't think the Nine Tails was this powerful. Inside of himself, Naruto was gonna like let the Nine Tails go full bore, and like take control like for real, and like just lose himself. But then Minato got there, and he was like, my chakra was sealed in here. You're my son. Naruto was upset, and then Minato was like, no, I put the Nine Tails inside of you because you're my son and you're strong. You will, handle this shit, because I believe in you, and you've already done so much already. I'm proud of you and other things. He told him about the masked man and how he was the actual manipulator in the Akatsuki. He was the one running the shit behind the scenes. It wasn't, Pain. So Naruto, with that information, he got back to himself, and he was in Sage mode, and he used multi shadow clone jutsu, and he was fighting against Pain again. Pain was almost out of chakra, and Naruto ended up defeating him with the Rasengan to the stomach. It took a lot, and then he tracked Nagato with chakra rods in Sage mode, and he went and found him. He hopped through the forest and other things to find him. He found him in the tree. He was in a tree that Conan made out of paper mache, and she was like, "Cool. Um, why are you here?" And other things. Nagato doesn't have time for it. He had to talk Nagato down from destroying shit. Nagato got talked down, and he was like, "You know what? I am in the wrong. I shouldn't have like went down this dark path. The Akatsuki wasn't supposed to be like about making people's lives living hell and killing and all this other stuff. I didn't ever want to really kill people. I just wanted to make the world a better place. But somewhere along the way, I like, I wasn't doing that. So instead, he used Rene Rebirth and brought everybody back, Kakashi, Choza, and everybody else that had died during the Pain invasion. And then after that, uh, the Cloud Village, they made, statements about Sasuke. Sasuke had, fought, had an exchange with Killer B and became a worldwide criminal. Because the Raikage was like, Sasuke's playing games. I don't like it. You cannot do shit like this. We need to put him down. Sasuke was, on the wanted list. He was a member of the Akatsuki, and Naruto was like unsure. He was like, Sasuke would never join the Akatsuki. However, he didn't know what Obito was doing or Toei was doing in the shadows. So, it came to the Five Kage Summit. Danzo was playing games and saying, Naruto can't leave the village because he was the acting Hokage, as Tsunade was out of commission. So Naruto was like, I have to go stop them from trying to kill Sasuke. That's my friend. I don't want him to die. He might be saying dumb shit right now, but that's Sasuke. That's my friend. And everybody else was like done with this shit. But Naruto was still cool. And Naruto was running around doing that. The Raikage, he bowed his head to the Raikage and said, please don't fucking kill my friend, please. And then the Raikage was like, no, he's a criminal. We don't allow criminals to live. And then Naruto was like sad and upset. Then, Obito came to see him and was like, one day, Sasuke's only growing powerful. More dark, no hatred. I don't think you can save your friend. And we're going to come for you too. Then Kakashi and Yamato was there to be like, you ain't taking Naruto. He ain't going with you. You ain't going to take him. Obito left, and Naruto was like, okay, now I'm cool. I have to go save Sasuke from going down this dark path. All the while, some fights were going on. Kisame versus Killer B, and then, Danzo versus Sasuke, which was also a good fight. But Sasuke ended up winning that fight. Um, and in doing that, he also learned like his eyes got more powerful, but at a cost, because it was the Mangekyu Sharingan. He didn't have his brother's eyes yet, so he started losing light. But before that, Kakashi got there to save Sakura, but Sasuke was too powerful, so Naruto showed up, and then they had a little exchange. Naruto was like, you gotta like stop doing shit like this. Your brother, did whatever, man, but you gotta like get right. And Naruto and Sasuke was like, whatever. My eyes are going blind, so Obito took him, and then they left. And then Naruto was like, I have to, do something for the Allied Shinobi forces. They took him to an island so he could train with Killer B, basically, and then they trained with Killer B. Naruto trained to learn the Nine Tails to control it. He unlocked his like chakra pool, the seal, and he fought against Kurama inside of him. So in doing that, he learned that his mother's chains. His mother was actually sealed within Kurama too, and he found his mom and he talked to his mom for a little bit, and he was like fighting against Kurama with the Kushina chains on him. Then Naruto used the Rasengan, giant Rasengan barrage, and Rasen Shuriken and all this to steal some of Kurama's chakra. And in doing that, he was able to control some of Naruto's or Kurama's chakra, and he learned chakra mode. But they still had to learn how to control it because it was still like not under his control completely. Like Killer B. Killer B was a true Jinchuriki. He had a great relationship with Eito. Unlike Naruto, still kind of didn't have a good relationship with Kurama. Kurama still viewed him as a brat that didn't need his power and other things. But they were doing that. The war was started, and Obito and Kabuto had teamed up against the Allied Shinobi forces. Naruto was like, we got to get there. So they started going there. They were running, and then the Raikage got to him. He was like, you won't go past me. We can't allow the Akatsuki to get a hold of you guys. Your powers are, not to be, taken. Once they take your powers, it's game over for everybody. So if I have to kill you guys to like keep the Nine Tails and the Eight Tails at bay from the Akatsuki, then that's what I'll do. A and Naruto had an exchange, and A was like, there's nobody faster than me since the fourth Hokage. Naruto was like, bet, because that's my dad. And then he was like, he darted past him, and he was like, you know, Raikage was like, okay, I see that you're cool. Um, don't get caught now. If you're able to get by me, you shouldn't be able to get caught. And then they were like, okay, cool. We'll run through and help our friends out who are dying out here on the battlefield for our sakes. And he was doing that. They got there, and Naruto sent his clones everywhere. He helped his friends out on each battlefield. However, they went to the one where the Kages were, the reanimated, Kages were at, and Naruto had to fight against the third Hokage, or the third Raikage, Unruly A's father, and he had a lightning armor. They were having problems with him, so Naruto had to fight against that. He had to like actually go out of chakra mode and go into sage mode to like find this guy. He had to find this guy weakness. It was where he cut himself when he was alive. He had to make him cut himself basically, in the same spot where he had that scar. And that, after he did that, they sealed him away. Naruto, did that. After that, they summoned Madara Uchiha after a while. They sealed the other Kages away. Mu, the second Tsuchikage, got away. And Kabuto started controlling his mind. Did that, and Maru Uchiha was summoned. Then they were like, what the hell is going on? Maru is over there, playing games with a mask. You know, Naruto, his real body was with Killer B in the forest. So they were in the forest, and then they come upon, they come upon Itachi and Nagato, and Itachi were fighting in an exchange because Kabuto was playing chess, in a cave somewhere. Playing games because he's a snake sage by now, and he had, you know, extra chakra and all kind of extra stuff. So he was like controlling these dead people. But Itachi put the crow inside of Naruto a while back, and he summoned it out. He used a Koto Amatsu Kami to like get himself out, and he programmed the eye to be like, protect the village. He used it on himself, so then he had to protect the village. Itachi was like, okay, now I can protect the village. He turned sides, and he was on Killer B and Naruto's side. Um, Nagato used planetary devastation, and they all attacked the epicenter of it, destroying it in the process, and then sealing Nagato away. And then they went their separate ways. Itachi went after Kabuto, and Killer B and Naruto went after Obito. And the five Kage were like, Naruto, you can get out of here. The five Kage will handle Madara Uchiha. We're the strongest ninjas of our village, so we have to like hold down. But you have to go up against the masked man, who they found out later was Obito. So then Naruto's fighting against Obito with Killer B. They had to fight against the Jinchuriki, who were the new um, paths of pain. Their eyes were linked from Obito's eyes. They each had a Sharingan and a Rinnegan in each eye. So they were fighting against them. And then they had to fight against the Tail Beast. During this exchange and other things, Naruto and Kurama like grew closer to each other. Kurama ended up being like, I hate these Uchihas more than I hate you, so I'll give you my power, and we'll really go against these guys. For real now. We'll be friends. I don't want to like lose connection with you or like die because these people want to use my chakra in creating the Ten Tails. I want to still be me, so we'll fight together. And then they started fighting together, and on the way, Mike Guy and Kakashi got there to help Killer B and Naruto. They started fighting, and then they caught on to how